How's it going, everybody? Ed Ricker here. I got the DJI Ronin-S in front of me inside of its carry case. I made a review about this a couple weeks ago. I went through some of the basic setup process, such as how to charge it, how to connect it to your phone with Wi-Fi, downloading the app. So for this video, we've gone through all that. The battery's charged, it's ready to go. For this video, I'm using the Panasonic GH5 with a 12mm wide-angle lens right there. All right, there it is. So we have the gimbal here, we have the feet, and we have the battery. We're gonna put it all together. Now the Ronin-S fits very tightly into this carry case. So once you have balanced it for a particular camera, you may not want to put it back in this case unless you're okay with losing some of those calibration and balance settings that you've already figured out on the device. You could always mark your balance points on the gimbal for faster setup in the future. Attach the spreadable feet base to the battery right there, and then taking your battery right here, sliding it onto the gimbal, right like so, and then using this tab, tighten that down so it's not going to come off. Now for this tutorial, I'm using this camera plate with the centimeter measurement indicators right there. It has a little indicator right there on one end that shows which way it should be pointing forward. So that means that I'm going to be attaching it to my camera just like that. Now how far this goes back and forth really depends on what camera you're using. After you do it once, you may realize that you need to move it back and forth a little bit, but for right now, we're going to move it kind of right there so that the middle of the plate is about in the middle center of balance of the camera. You can either use a screwdriver to tighten this down. I actually usually use a quarter that I have in my pocket. I have about 10 quarters all around in different camera bags for this very purpose. Very convenient. The Ronin also comes with this little bracket that holds your lens in place. Basically, it attaches just like that to the bottom of the camera plate and then holds your lens nice and firm so that your lens doesn't vibrate around at all. It's one more point of stability. If you've attached your camera plate forward enough, then that little bracket won't get in the way of your iris control or zoom or anything like that. So here is the unbalanced but put together Ronin right here. We're going to be putting our camera on it onto the little camera bracket right here. In order to do that, the locking lever is set to unlock, and we're also going to be pressing this button on the side. Take the camera and then move it backward so it slides on backward onto that little camera bracket right there. We're going to kind of eyeball it at first, find a good maybe center of balance there, and then lock it down. Now it's this point in time we want to turn on the camera, flip out the LCD, take off the lens cover, anything, make sure the battery's in, make sure the SD card's in. If we balanced this before we flipped out the LCD screen or put the battery in, we would have to rebalance it after we did those things. Just letting this fall, obviously it is very unbalanced. But we're going to, first of all, adjust the tilt axis. Now I'm going to hold on to the tilt motor here, which is on the right, should be, anyway, as you set this up, motor tilt on the right. Tilt the camera 90 degrees so it's looking straight up. Now obviously it's going to fall because it's not balanced, but we're going to tilt that, and then on the motor that I'm holding on to with my right hand, loosen it up, and we're going to adjust tilt. So I'm going to be sliding this camera back and forth in order to find the best balance so that when I have the camera pointed directly up, it will stay that way when I take my hands away. So we're still falling forward. I'm just going to keep moving the camera back on that axis right there to eventually find the sweet spot right there where the camera's looking straight up and I'm not holding it there. It's doing this on its own because it's balanced. Tighten the lever on the motor there, and now we're going to tilt the camera forward and it falls back. Okay, so now what we have to do, loosen up this lever right here on the camera plate and move the camera forward in order to find the point where it is level looking horizontally 0 degrees with the horizon. So it holds its position 90 degrees up, it holds its position with the horizon, so that means that it should also hold its position, halfway or like this. That means that our tilt axis is balanced when it kind of stays where we put it. Now at this point, we let go of it. We still have to adjust that roll axis. That's this one right here. that is this motor in the back. So this is the pin that we're loosening, and we're going to be adjusting from left to right how the camera is held on at this motor. So I know from experience that I'm going to have to move it to the right. So loosen and then move this entire piece to the right. You can kind of see as you hold it that there it's kind of left heavy, so we're going to have to move it more to the right in order to get the roll axis balanced. Now it's a little bit too heavy to the right, so I'm going to move it a little bit to the left. We went too far. All these motions, all these movements are very, very slight, just like a millimeter at a time. Okay, we're still a little bit heavy to the right, so I'm going to move it to the left. That's pretty good. I'm not sure if we're going to get much better than that. So that is a good roll balance. Now for the yaw balance. That is this axis right here, and that's this motor right here at the base. How to get your yaw balanced properly. First of all, you have to determine what's out of balance. Tilting the Ronin left to right will show which way it's unbalanced. So right now, it's pretty obvious that it's too far forward. This entire thing has to move back on the yaw axis so that it will stop flopping around and swinging around like that as I move. It really shouldn't be moving around like that. So I'm going to loosen up this tab right there and slide the entire thing back. Tighten it up, and let's see again. All right, it's still unbalanced too far forward. So I'm going to move this back a little bit more, and let's see. All right, still swinging off to the front. So we're going to have to move it back a little more. There we go. How's that? Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. So it's rolling a little bit, but the yaw is pretty much spot on. It's no longer swinging forward like that, like it was before. That is pretty much a perfect yaw balance. I'm really happy with that. So let's go ahead and double check. Tilt looks great. Roll looks pretty good too. And yaw looks pretty good. All right, so now we just have to turn this thing on. Turn on the battery at the bottom, right there. Turn on the unit at the top, right there. Now we can go to our phone, connect to the DJI Ronin-S with our Bluetooth, go to the Ronin app, and connect to the Ronin. For more information on connectivity to the Ronin, go ahead and check out my video review. Go to Configuration, Settings, More, and Balance Test. Now let's see what score it gives us. It's going to spin around automatically while we're in the phone, and it looks like yaw, roll, and pitch are all excellent. Once you're done with the balancing, DJI strongly suggests you do an auto tune of the motor strength to achieve best performance. You can do that either with the Ronin app or holding down the M button and the front trigger together for 3 seconds. The mode indicator will start blinking green, and then you'll start to hear some motor noise. It's normal, it's just going through auto tune. When the indicator turns green again, you're good to go. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. And if you're interested in some of the video gear that I use to make my videos, check out kit.com/edrickervlogs. And until next time, happy shooting.